Hello students, in previous videos we have seen the definition of tree, some of its properties, minimally connected set, then some properties related to minimally connected set, pendant vertices in a tree. Also we have seen a distance in a tree and eccentricity of a vertex. These definitions we have seen and most of I have been explained with the help of example. Now let's see the next definition, that is center in a tree. Center in a tree. Now center in a tree is a obviously it is only one thing or sometimes two, but it is what? The vertex. The vertex with minimum eccentricity. Vertex with minimum eccentricity is what is known as center of a graph G. Now what is eccentricity? Now before eccentricity we need the definition of distance. What is distance between, suppose, the two vertices U and V? It is number of edges between two vertices, right? Number of edges between UV path. But how many edges? That will be shortest path, shortest UV path, number of edges in shortest UV path. Then what is eccentricity of any vertex? It is nothing but maximum distance from V to other vertices, where Vi is from set of vertex in a graph G. These two things are important here. Now what the center says? Center is nothing but a vertex with minimum eccentricity. Wherever the eccentricity of a vertex in a graph G is minimum, that is nothing but the center of our graph G. So let's go for the example for this. Now before going towards the example, let me give one more definition, that is diameter of a graph G. Diameter of a graph G. Diameter of a graph G is nothing but the length of the longest path. Length of the longest path in G. Length of longest path in G, or we can say it is a maximum distance. That is nothing but the eccentricity, we can say, of or the maximum eccentricity. Here it is minimum eccentricity. Diameter is a maximum eccentricity, we can say. Now let's take the example. Now suppose we have, now let me rub this, we will determine the eccentricity and all for that example. Okay, center and all. Example, suppose we have this tree. Suppose this is V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. This one. Now let's determine the eccentricity for each one. Okay, we have to determine center for this tree. Okay, our aim to determine center here. So eccentricity of V1, suppose eccentricity of V1 is what? Maximum distance from V1 to other Vi, right? V1 to other Vi, that is Vi is from set of vertex set of a graph G. Now how many vertices are here? 6 vertices. So it is nothing but maximum of what? Maximum of distance from V1 to V1 itself, distance from V1 to V2, then distance from V1 to V3, right? Distance from V1 to V4, distance from V1 to V5, and distance from V1 to V6. This maximum among all these is nothing but our eccentricity of that V1. So what is maximum of? Now distance from V1 to V1 is how much? 0. Distance from V1 to V2, shortest path. Look at this one. So it is how much? 2. V1 to V3, 1. V1 to V4 is how much? 2 edges are there. Look at it. V1 to V5, 3 edges are there. So 3. And V1 to V6 is again 3. What is maximum among all these? Maximum is how much? 3. So eccentricity of V1 we can say 3. Similarly, what about eccentricity of V2? Eccentricity of V2 is maximum distance from V2 to Vi, right? V2 to Vi, where Vi belongs to what? Vertex at G. So that will be maximum of. Now let me skip this part. It is V2 to V1, or let me write for this one at least. V2 to V1, then distance V2 to V2, then again distance from V2 to V3, distance from V2 to V4, right? Distance from V2 to V5, and distance from V2 to V6, because 6 vertices are there, right? This one, that is equivalent to maximum of what? Maximum from V2 to V1. V2 to V1, what is the distance? 2. V2 to V2, distance is 0. V2 to V3, distance is how much? 1. V2 to V4, distance is 2. V2 to V5, distance is 3. V2 to V6, again 3. So what is the maximum? 3. So eccentricity of V2 is how much? 3. So now similarly for the eccentricity of V3, it's what? Maximum of the distances of V3 from all the remaining vertices, right? And itself also. Now what is V3 to V1? Distance is what? 1. V3 to V2, distance is again 1. V3 to V3, distance 0. V3 to V4, distance is 1. V3 to V5, distance is how much? 2. V3 to V6, distance is again 2. So how much is the maximum? Is 2. Again, eccentricity of V4. What about eccentricity of V4? Is what? Maximum of the distances of V4 from V4 to other vertices as well as itself. So what is distance from V4 to V1? Is 2. V4 to V2 is again 2. V4 to V3, 1. V4 to itself, 0. Here 1, 1. Right? Maximum is how much? 2. What about eccentricity of V5? Eccentricity of V5 again. Maximum from what? V5 to V1 is how much? 3. Right? V5 to V2 is again 3. V5 to V3, 2. V5 to V4, 1, 0. And V5 to V6 is how much? 2. So what is maximum? 3. Again, eccentricity of V6 is maximum of distance from V6 to V1 is 3. V6 to V2, 3. V6 to V3, 2. Right? V6 to V4, 1. V6 to V4, 1. Right? V6 to V5, 2. And V6 to V6 itself, 0. So what is maximum is here again? 3. Right? So these are what? Eccentricities of all the vertices in this graph G. Right? So now what we have to determine? We have to determine center. Now if we look all the eccentricities, let me write these one here. Eccentricity of V1 is 3. Eccentricity of V2 is 3. Right? Eccentricity of V3 is what? 2. Eccentricity of V4 is also 2. Eccentricity of V5 is again 3. And eccentricity of V6 is how much? Again 3. As we have seen here. Right? So here if you look among these, which vertices having a minimum eccentricity? It may be a single vertex, it may be more than one vertex. So now if you look, this is the minimum value here. This is minimum eccentricity. right? So I can say V3 and V4 are two centers of this graph G. Here this graph G having two centers, that is V3 and V4, right? So after this we can write here, let me rub this part, that is for your understanding, you can write down that part, right? So here I can say for this example, center of a graph G are what? V3 and V4 are the vertices of a graph, vertices of a graph G having minimum eccentricity, as we have seen, right? Okay, having minimum eccentricity. So this implies V3 and V4 both are what? Both are centers. Both are centers of a graph G. Both are centers of a graph G. Now, again, next thing, let's see the definition of radius. Radius of a graph. What is a radius of a tree? We can say the eccentricity of a center. Eccentricity of a center is the radius of a graph G. Is the radius of the graph G here. Okay. So from this example we can say radius of graph G in the example is how much? What is the eccentricity of centers we have seen? It is nothing but how much? 2, right? It is 2. And what about diameter? Diameter is what? Diameter of a graph G. Already I have given you the definition of a diameter. Diameter is nothing but length of longest path. So maximum eccentricity is nothing but the diameter. Now maximum eccentricity in this one is how much? 3. So diameter of a graph G in the example is how much? 3. It is the longest length or longest path. Length of longest path, right? In general, we know the relation between radius and diameter. Diameter is twice of radius, or radius is half of diameter. But here if you look it in a graph, it is not necessary that the diameter is twice of radius, right? So here we can write as a note this thing, write down as a note. In general, diameter is not equal to what? 2 times radius here, as I have shown in example. Radius in what? G, right? In a graph G. Okay. Now let's take one more example for this one. Suppose we have these ones. Okay. Suppose here again V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V7. Right? So if we found eccentricities, eccentricity of V1, if you look, V1 to V1 distance is 1, V1 to V2 2, V1 to V3 1. Which vertex is too far from the V1? So too far from V1 is V7. So eccentricity of V1 should be how much? 4. 4. It having number of edges are what? 4. As such, we can easily determine eccentricity. No need to write down that thing in detail always, right? Now, eccentricity of V2. What is eccentricity of V2? If you look again, V7 is too far from it, so it's again 4. Eccentricity of V3. What about eccentricity of V3? If you look towards this end, these are at a distance 1, but here it is at a distance 3, so 3. Maximum we are taking, maximum distance we have to take here. V4. Now from V4 here at a distance 2, here also at a distance 2, this is at 1 and this is at 2, right? So how much? It is 2. Eccentricity of V5. Eccentricity of V5 is this one. V5 is how much? Look at here, it is 3, right? Eccentricity of V6. Eccentricity of V6 is again how much? This distance is also 3, this distance is also 3, this is also 3. So it is 3. Eccentricity of V7. V7, from V1 it is 4, from V2 it is 4. So maximum is what? 4 here. So maximum eccentricity is what? 4 here, right? So that is what? A diameter. Now what is minimum eccentricity? So this is minimum eccentricity. So this V4 having minimum eccentricity, so this V4 will become a center of this graph. Center of this graph G, and the eccentricity of a center is nothing but what? The radius, right? So here radius, or let me write a center first. Center of graph G. Center of graph G is what? Vertex V4. Why does this? Because it has a minimum eccentricity, right? With minimum eccentricity. With minimum eccentricity is this, right? Now radius of graph G. What is the radius of graph G? Eccentricity of a center. Eccentricity of center. Eccentricity of center is how much? 2 here, right? And what about diameter? Diameter of graph G. Diameter of a graph G is what? Length of longest path, or maximum eccentricity we can say. Maximum eccentricity. From vertex set of G, right? So that is how much? 4. Here the rule, the general rule, that the diameter is twice of radius holds, but not necessary always it holds. This is an example where diameter equal to twice of radius, but in previous one we have seen diameter is 3 while radius is 2, so these are not equal, right? Now let me give one more question, that in that one, suppose we have to give an example in which eccentricity of a connected graph, so that every vertex will become a center, means what? Eccentricity is everywhere equal, right? So example, suppose question is that give an example of a connected graph in which, give an example of a connected graph in which each vertex is a center. Now not necessary it is a tree, but each vertex is a center, means distance from each vertex to other vertices will be same, maximum distance will be same, that is eccentricity is everywhere equal. So that one we can write as a solution here. That is a very simple thing. If I take this one, here this is suppose V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 and V6. So this is here, if you look, eccentricity of V1 is maximum distance is how much? 3. Eccentricity of V2, if you look, again maximum distance is 3, right? Eccentricity of V3 is same as eccentricity of V4, is same as eccentricity of V5. You can determine if you have a doubt for here. V6, all having same eccentricity, and that is equal to what? 3. Okay. Therefore, in this graph, suppose it is G. In a graph G, every vertex is what? Is a center. Every vertex is what? Center of G. Right? Now let's take one theorem here. It is about the number of centers in a tree. So now theorem. Every tree, theorem says every tree has either one or two centers. One or two centers. Now let's see proof of it. Suppose T is a tree with two or more centers. With two or more centers, or let me say two or more than two vertices. Suppose it has two or more than two vertices. First of all, let's see about the center. Now we should note, if V belongs to vertex set of T, then maximum distance from V to Vi that is maximum distance of V from any other vertex, any vertex Vi in G, any vertex Vi in G occurs only if Vi is what? Pendant vertex. If you look at the examples, you have noticed that if Vi is a pendant vertex, then it will be a maximum distance from V to that vertex, pendant vertex, right? Also we know that every tree has at least two pendant vertices, right? So we know that every tree has at least two pendant vertices. Minimum two pendant vertices are there. We have seen that part, right? Now let me delete. We have to determine center. How many centers are there? So let me delete all the pendant vertices. Let me delete all the pendant vertices. Pendant vertices from a tree T. And a new tree, that new tree will form and call the resulting graph, that is also a tree, it is a graph, right? Resulting graph as T1. Let we call, by eliminating all or by deleting all pendant vertices, the resulting graph, let me name it as T1. Therefore, what is T1? T1 is what? T minus all pendant vertices, in T, right? This one, T1 is this, right? Now, due to that, what happened? Then you, as I said, T1 is a still tree. It is still a tree. T1 is still a tree. Grammatically, this is correct, right? T1 is still a tree. Now, if again V belongs to T1, V is from T we have taken, but now again suppose V belongs to T1, then eccentricity of V in T1 is what? Eccentricity of V in T minus 1. This part is there, right? Eccentricity of T minus 1, because we have been eliminated pendant vertices, right? So due to that, what happened? The center of this changes eccentricity, but it won't changes the center. Center of T is same as what? Center of what? T1. As the eccentricity of V in T1 changes, so eccentricity of V in T is previously it is maximum, suppose, so it will become minimum. Minimum will be the what? The center. Minimum will give us the center. It is also decreases. If it will be 2 in T, then it will become 1 in T1. So due to that, center will remain same. The minimum eccentricity vertex won't changes. That's why the center remains same. Again define T2. T2 is what? Suppose, again define T2. Now let me take here. T2 is nothing, suppose T1 minus all pendant vertices in T1. All pendant vertices in what? T1. Suppose again that remaining tree, from that we will eliminate or delete all the pendant vertices. Then a new tree form again. So that is T2. Therefore, T2 is again a tree. T2 is again a tree. Okay. So if again V is in T2, then eccentricity of V in T2, is what? It is eccentricity of V in T minus how much? 2. Minus 2, because 2 times we have been delete dependent vertices, so it is decreased by 2 unit. But due to that, center won't changes. Center remains same. Therefore, this gives center of T1 is same as center of T2. Center of T2. But from this, let it be 1 and this will be 2, suppose. From 1 and 2, what we see? Center of T, center of T1 and center of T2 all are same. So continuing this procedure, until we are left with a single vertex, or a line segment with end vertices. We have to continue this. The elimination of pendant vertices we are continuing. Now, if we are left with single vertex, then that single vertex is itself what? The center. Left with single vertex, that time this gives T has one center. If we left with single vertex, then that single vertex is nothing but center. That time T has one center. But if we left with a line segment with end vertices, that time T has two centers. So that part we need to write again. Now other condition, other possibility, if we are left with line segment, if we are left with line segment with end vertices or end vertex, that gives T has two centers. T has two centers. Now let me take a small example for both of these cases. T has either one center or two center. Here the proof of the theorem is over, but for your understanding let me take example so that it will be clear to you. Now look at these examples. Question: find the centers of the following tree. Now this is one tree and this is another. Let it be T, T. Now as we have seen the theorem, according to that procedure we will determine the centers here. Now here I have to remove the pendant vertices. Remove pendant vertex. Pendant vertices. Do that procedure here also. Remove pendant vertices. Now let me do it one by one so that you will get the tree has either one or two centers. So here if we remove the pendant vertices, then this 1, 9, 11, 12, 6, 8, these vertices are get eliminated. Only these remains there, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and here 10 will left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and this is 10. This one's graph will left. This is our T1 here. According to theorem, if we give the same names, this is T1. Now again here we have to eliminate pendant vertices. So if we eliminate pendant vertices, we get this one. Because 6 is pendant, 10 is pendant, 2 is pendant. So pendant are eliminated. So 3, 4, 5 are left. This is our T2 here. Now again if we eliminate pendant vertices, this 4 will left. So here this fourth vertex is what? Our center. This is what? A center of a tree. Center of T. Okay. This one left. This is T3 maybe, or this is nothing but center. Similar thing here if we do, then pendant are removed. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will left. 8, 9, 12, 10, 1, 13 are gone, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and here 11. These are left, right? Only. Now again here also this is T1. Again eliminate pendant vertices. So 2, 11, 6 will get eliminated. So 3, 4, 5, 6 is get left. So this is T2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Fine. Now again pendant will be eliminated. 4 and 5 will left. So line segment is left. Now here if we eliminate, both are get eliminated. So here we can't eliminate. So either we have to stop till a single vertex is left or a line segment is left. This is T3. So here this 4 and 5 are what? Here 4 and 5 are centers of a tree. Centers of T. So in this way, either a tree has one center or two centers. So this is a verification of our theorem also with the help of example. So here I will stop for this video. In next video we will see rooted and binary tree and some of the properties of it. Thank you.